Let's get it popping.
Let's talk about it.
Say you don't like the life I live.
Girl, let's talk about it.
Alright, I'm always on the grind.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Always got money on my mind.
Girl, let's talk about it.
Say you don't like this life of mine.
Wanna talk about it.
Yeah, I'm always on the grind.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, I gotta shine.
Let's talk about it.
Always got money on my mind.
Girl, let's talk about it.
Say you don't like this life of mine.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, I'm always on the
Girl,
grind.
let's talk about it.
Yeah, I gotta shine.
Let's talk about it.
Always got money on my mind.
Girl, let's talk about it.
Whoa. What's going down? Look. So how you gonna start it off? You already right there. Let's talk about it.
What we starting with?
All right, look, there we go. All right, raw true. Let's give
Raw
it to him.
True.
Raw true. Hey, look, raw true. How to know when it's time to let a relationship go. Make sure y'all take time to follow the cast. Follow everybody you see up on here. The names are on here. Make sure y'all pop with the goddess Indigo, man. She is very talented, very spiritual. Has a lot of knowledge of a lot. Make sure y'all follow Ish Tiller. We're gonna talk about him and his terrible basketball teams in just a minute. We're gonna make sure we do that. But I mean, on top of that, I mean, what we gonna get to tonight, you know, is the raw truth. How to know when it's time to let go of a relationship. Even bigger than that, how to practice forgiveness. Like when you're able to let go of a relationship, how do you also let that relationship go where it doesn't run the rest of your relationships, where it doesn't control and dictate your present and future? Like we're gonna talk about the keys to really developing that tonight. It's Tilla. Yeah, there you go. God body.
What up
God
with it?
body.
I'm coming back.
God body. Word life.
What's going on? K Key, what's happening, man?
God body. What's the business? What's the business?
Same old. Celebrating the birth of my new young prince, Khalil. You know, he was born last night, 10/17. Where that nigga Gucci at? 10/17, baby. Where that nigga Gucci at, man?
God body.
I ain't one. You know, you know what I'm saying? For real, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who, you know what I'm saying, sent things, you know, to the wifey, you know, for the birth of the baby. And, you know, thank you everybody for the positive energy and the blessings and the prayers for a healthy baby. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, on to the raw truth. How to know it's time to let go of a relationship. When you see yourself begin to lose yourself, where you're putting your all in all into another person, and you're not getting nothing in return. And when I mean nothing, I mean you're not getting everything that was discussed at the beginning of the relationship, or everything that was discussed in the time frame of the relationship. You should be getting everything that you want out of the relationship, not just 95%, but especially if you give it 100. So when you find yourself losing yourself into somebody else, you might need to take a step back and look more within yourself to make sure you're happy. Make sure you're in an environment that is positive and elevating and edifying to your life as an individual. Because if your life as an individual ain't good, it definitely not going to be good with somebody else added to it. Past that.
God body. Let's see. Hey, P City get shit. We don't know if she really. Indigo, I don't know if she right there. You ready?
Go ahead and get up here. You go ahead and get up here.
I'm about to say I'm here.
All right, you ready? Don't point. Let's see.
Yeah.
She
What's the
high.
raw truth? Yeah, I know she is good. It's good though. I mean, yeah. What's the raw truth? How do you know when it's time to let go of a relationship?
I feel like you know it. You can feel it. It's like an energy that's no longer there, I guess. So just like he said, if you're not putting a whole 100 and you're not receiving it, knowing your worth. Just like he said, if you're not happy as a person individually, you're not going to be happy in a relationship. And that's what I have to tell a lot of people every single day. Like, you can be looking for love all you want, but you don't even love yourself. So it's hard. And it's going to stay hard until that one task is achieved. So I agree. I feel like people should feel the energy more. I don't know.
God, body.
I got a
God,
question
body.
for both of y'all before you start, KK, and you can answer this.
Yeah.
When people say, what is your point of view on the statement when people say you should be more selfish? And I kind of want to hear what both of y'all have to say, and then I'll kind of give my take. I'm hoping one of y'all will say what I
I
want to
mean,
say.
yeah. It's crazy you said that because that's kind of sort of, but not really where I was going to it with what I was gonna say about how to know when it's time to let go of a relationship. Like, I think the moment you see that you can't learn or grow or do something different with somebody where it's always gonna be the same, yeah, man, it's probably time to let go of that because you got a higher assignment. That's the biggest thing a person can have is the ability to relate with somebody and be on one ship. You be able to get along with that person no matter where you at. Relationship. So how well you can relate to a person. The moment you can't grow, how can you relate? How can you relate to a situation still if you got a purpose? So that part of where I look at it, like the raw truth is the moment you got to keep fighting and bickering, and it seems like you do more of that or you do that, but there's still no growth, you're gonna go through certain things because too many people got traumas, things they've been through in this shell that we in nowadays. It's so much people live by experience in their environment. So the moment you can keep relating to where you can be on one ship, live accord and keep building, that's where you're gonna get productivity. That's where you're gonna get a progress in life. If you at the point where you can't grow, I mean, this is the best thing I can say. If you can no longer grow with a person, what are you doing? That's my take right there. God, body.
Shit, same question to Indigo.
So
Oh,
selfishness.
Like when somebody say you should be more selfish.
Because you probably give and extend that love you have in the wrong places. So it's kind of like telling you to put all of that inward, give and pour into yourself because too much of the external it's just causes for them energy vampires. Then you start feeling drained. So I think it's a good statement. Be more selfish. More people would be better if they were more selfish.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I definitely feel like it's a good statement. I think when some people hear the word you should be more selfish, they're not looking at it in the terms of actually, I look at it in a term of you should get to know yourself better. You should actually take the time, like you just said, to take the time out with everything that you're pouring into the relationship. When it's time to take a step back and be selfish, like you need to pour all that focus and everything into you and actually figure out what it is that you actually want and what you are willing to do to have that. You know what I'm saying? That's a question that people got to ask themselves. What am I willing to do to have what I want to have in a relationship? You know what I'm saying? And if you kind of confused about that answer, you know what I'm saying? If you're in a relationship, you might need to back out of it. If you're single and you're still confused about that answer, you don't need to get in no relationship. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's, I just wanted to ask that question and then
So
put my
so so once somebody has been in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, either person could answer this. Once they've been in this relationship for a long period of time, they have ill feelings. It's hard to look at that person or deal with that person, and they move on. What does forgiveness have to do about people keeping resentment or holding certain things after a relationship is over with? Like, do you need to forgive that, or only God can judge me, or only God, you know what I'm saying, or that's up to God to like, what's the balance and scales of forgiveness in a relationship after a relationship is over with? My bad.
definitely the person who has been hurt should try to, I know it's easier said than done, but try to work hard as they can to release that pain and trauma that has a bond over them, that got them chained up. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the main thing for the person who's been hurt. But also at the same time, you got to understand that the person who has been causing the pain, whatever they got coming regardless if you forgive them or not. So understand that the forgiveness is for you. The letting go of the resentment, the harboring not harboring feelings is all for you. You know what I'm saying? If I do you wrong, you know what I'm saying? My judgment is gonna come from my creator. My judgment is gonna come from the most high. So, you know, if you forgive me, that's all on you. That's all on you. You know what I'm saying? So once you've been hurt, you've been in a relationship that's lasted for an extensive period of time, and you finally walk away, just make sure that when you walk away, you're actually walking away. Some people say they walking away and they really like in their mind just they need a break. Or that's what they feel like. They just need a break. So they just step aside for a little bit and then eventually fall back into the same shit because they're not really walking away. They're not really letting go of that trauma and that pain. And when you hold on to that, that's what keep reeling you back in too. That's the hold that's the hold that's over you. That's what you tied to. You know what I'm saying? Man called it trauma bonding. Because for somebody to actually take you through some trauma, they done had to been through some trauma themselves. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. In that case. But past that to Empress Indigo.
God body.
Yeah. I feel like, um, yeah, kind of what it said. You gotta move on. In order to move on and move forward, that's like a part of shadow work. Because a lot of people hold on to like things that hurt them, and I'm like, if you would heal your inner child, then your current you will be more healthy. So I agree with that. I feel like people should forgive so that they don't give energy to the situation, because too much energy, that's another thing that drains you. So I agree with Ish.
God body. God body. This is the raw truth. So I'm gonna break that down and give it like the definite raw truth. Um, if you're in a relationship, it's important to let go because if somebody cheated on you a whole lot, um, you chose to stay there in that situation. So wishing bad on somebody for the next 30 or 40 years, you're only affecting your life. You're only stopping yourself from creating the safe space or the best place for you. So Ish was right. Like the forgiveness is for you because wishing, as long as you see a person excel or do better, if every time that makes you mad, that will only affect you. So this whole trauma bonds or different things that people are building up in relationships that make things volatile, or why it's important to know when to let go, is because you're building a trauma bond. Like you're building a bond based on not developing, not growing. It's like if mold grows on something, it stops growing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in a fungus relationship. I mean, like, hey, so when you let go, learn to let go. You might need to close your doors for a minute. Like you don't bond with everything. Like next time I learn from everything I went to actually see where I need to go. It's a lot of these things we have to realize are self-inflicted. Nobody else did it to you. You did it to yourself. And when you admit that, then you take your power back. Like a lot of people say, man, who you voting for this year? Like, what sports team do you like? When I own the sports team, then I like it. This be my true answer. When I own that team, then that'll be my favorite team. But up until then, I got to brand. We got to brand each other, or different things like that. Like and not to knock that because I am gonna get on the subs and the real part of that for real. But yeah, I just
I'm
had to
about to
bring that
say,
up
nigga,
because
don't be trying to
they just
motherfucking
got
post
they
some
just
type of
got did in.
dumbass answer
They
and
just got did
get out
in.
of
You
what
know
you
what
trying to
I'm
get.
saying? They just
Yeah,
got did in. But hey, man, but
yeah,
on top of that, that's just what I think is that yeah, bro. When you get out of a relationship, you don't need to be holding and harboring these feelings that you make affect the next generation out of you because you're still mad and you're still wanting something bad to happen to somebody because it didn't work out. Like, yeah, you got to learn to forgive that because you steadily make mistakes while you're looking for somebody else to trip up. You steadily the one that's making the mistakes. Like, we got to take our power back. People, take your power back. Get control of your mind. Don't let resentment and things, don't let that control your life. Because I guarantee you the same people you thinking about, I guarantee you they not letting that control their life. Just drive you crazy. I'm gonna pass that, man. Who can pick up from there?
got you. This is the raw truth. How to know it's time to let go of a relationship. And I'm here to tell everybody from a person and I'm being transparent from a person who's been in that type of relationship. The very first time it get physical, the very first time it get physical, you know, and that can even be her uh, doing that right there. Man, pack up and run. If that ain't your crib, pack up and run. I'm telling you, just please, please. I hope this reach younger people, older people, whoever. Toxic relationships. Hey, look, KK, I shared a link in the group chat we in the other day about the toxic relationship, how it ended in a murder.
Yeah.
Well, the girl say the gun went off on accident.
And they thought it was funny.
Wow.
Now, now, why,
Wow.
why? So we talk. Let's keep it 100. I think we all can pretty much say we done seen some portion of the street life or actually lived it, right? Why? What is your intentions when you're pulling up with a gun? And what do you think the person that you're pulling up on thinks your intentions are when you pull up with a gun. They're going to think you're trying to kill them. They're not thinking, oh, I'm going to get shot real bad and I'm just going to go to the hospital and be in there for 2 or 3 days and get out. You see that you staring down the barrel of a gun, you're thinking death. Just period, point blank. So
it depends on, do that person always have a gun on them? Like you know, it depends.
right.
Yeah,
Well, but
it depends.
we talking about in a heated situation.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
regardless, if you
yeah,
if you can carry the gun all day long, right? But
yeah,
guess what? Your intent when you have the gun on you after you've been in a heated situation is different.
yeah,
It ain't for protection no more. You could be carrying it for protection, just on your hip. You get into a heated altercation, now you're brandishing it. That means it ain't in the holster no more. It wasn't in no holster. She had it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
He opened the door. They argued a little bit. Pow! You aimed it at him. So it's like, so we, you know, just when you see things start to get crazy, physical, toxic, anything that look like toxic, see people posting about this a red flag, that's a red flag. Okay. So as you start seeing them red flags, you see two, you might want to start making your exit plan. Because if you see two red flags, you gotta believe it's a third one. And if it's a third one, it's a fourth one. And you don't want to be in a cycle of that bullshit. That's just and I'm speaking from experience as a man who's done been there. Not saying I ain't did no ill crazy ass shit, but you know what I'm saying? I have been in relationships that have gotten physical. Not saying I didn't slap nobody down or punch nobody. It has got physical. That's all you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, and the signs were there. The signs were there. Now I'm like, shit. Woman even raised her hand at you. I'm married now. My wife even raised her hand at me. Hey, wait a minute now. Hey, hold up. Wait a minute. I'm going. I'm out of here. Go ahead. Pass that.
Oh, I had the thing muted. So yeah, you keep letting Ish go first, and I be thinking what Ish be thinking, but it's cool. I just feel like it's a norm in our society, in our generation, that this toxic shit is like some type of trend that people think is, just like it said, that people think is cool, but in reality, just like the young lady and the young man, it can end your life. So I don't know. People need to pay more attention. You know, I've been in abusive relationships before, but you know, I box,
Get that
so I
ass
don't
on that
give
smooth motherfucker.
I box, so I don't mind. And that's probably the toxic part about me is you're not finna just hit me. I'm gonna hit your ass, but I don't care how big it is. What they said, how big they is, the motherfucker fall harder. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just saying. I think that
And it's a good thing you just brought up. So if you hit a man, should a man hit a woman? I
yes,
mean,
and I
it's
have
good to
three
ask a woman
brothers.
that.
I have three older brothers, no sisters, and I feel like if a bitch hit my brother better pap that bitch in her mouth. I don't care. Pap that bitch so she don't hit you again. But that goes from dealing with toxic people, period, you know? Like
Should he hit her with the same force that he would hit another dude with?
whatever his mind tell him to do, however mad his head hurt. If his head start hurting real bad and he can't think, hit that bitch. I don't care. Um, you don't laugh, no, like for real. Because I feel
Um,
like
yeah,
and you see it
raw
a lot,
truth.
women hit men and don't want to be hit back.
Yeah,
And that was one thing I was never with. I'm not finna hit you first now. But god damn it, I'm gonna pick something up and chop. I threw a hot grill at my baby daddy. Rest his soul.
Oh no.
Rest his soul. I don't know
Whoa.
if I don't know if Terry is on
Jeez.
here or not. But he called his baby mama. He told Terry, he said, man, I got hot coals in my hair. Yep.
Whoa.
Hit that motherfucker with that hot grill. I was tired. Sick and tired.
Ooh-wee.
A
Sick
hot
and tired of
grill.
sick and
Hot
tired.
grill.
That's when you know
Soon
it's
as he was
time to
done
go.
cooking.
That's
Soon
when
as
you
he was
know
done
it's time to
cooking. Yeah, but see, I should have left. You're right, a year before. I
Yeah.
just don't, I don't listen sometimes. That's why I don't date. It's better
Yeah.
off not dating.
So do that. I know you're not here. Your rest is so like, but do that make you w- would that make you resent a person because you did stay for that long? Once you leave, would you resent them? Like, how would that go, or do you know how to get past that? Shout out to
I
the
am
goddess,
so
right?
I am
Yeah,
so loving. I feel like no. I just be like just fly free, have fun, live your life, do you. You feel me?
yeah.
I'm very I don't know. I'm a very free person. Very free. That's why when I get mad, I get mad. Like a level of disrespect has been there. So I can't really deal with it. But like I said, I don't hit people first.
Yeah.
I
Did
don't
y'all
hit
hear
nobody
this?
first.
man. Peace
Yeah,
to my
yeah,
wife, man.
yeah,
Peace to my
right
wife.
there, man.
Peace,
Shalom,
peace to the
Queen.
goddess.
Peace to the goddess, most definitely.
Shalom, Rabbi Yahuda Thomas. If you have to fight,
Congratulations.
it's time to go. If you have to fight, it's time to go. And
It's the contracts. Everybody signed different contracts. You gotta live their contract out. It's not ideal for everybody. You just gotta let everybody do what they came here to do and learn what they came here to learn.
Nah, that's real. Hey, but
However
and it
much it
go with
hurts.
what you said was wild though. You can't be hit with hot grills.
Yeah, we
Oh
used to put boxing
God.
gloves on though. Like for
hey,
Oh
real,
my God.
like we
Eh, eh,
beefing. Like is we
yeah.
beefing? Because if we beefing,
listen,
let's just
Whoa.
women do not play fair at all. Period. Period. It's everything is going to be below the belt because they're more reactors. They're more reactors than actually being proactive and actually, you know what I'm saying? Even when they trying to be proactive, it's still a reaction to something. So they hit below the belt. Bow. Bow. If it's boxing, they getting disqualified every time because they hitting below the belt. You cheat on them, they gonna fuck your best friend. Below the belt.
now see that's a little bit too far
Now,
now. Now
you
that's
threw a grill at
let
a
me
nigga.
tell
I
you
don't want to
something.
hear that.
But listen
You threw a
now.
grill at a nigga.
Listen, don't be putting us all in the category because I'm not gonna be running up behind no dusty man now. See stuff
I
like
ain't saying that. I'm just saying you throw a grill at a nigga. That's below the belt. Like that. You throw a whole
that's just ignorant. That's just low down.
But damn, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. I ain't even gonna cap. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Say, forgot what he was gonna say.
Take a sip. But yeah, man, when it's
Shit, damn. I got it.
sometimes it's time to go. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. In response to the if you have to fight, it's time to go. If you have to fight against your mate, then it's time to go. When it ain't y'all against the world no more, it's time to go. Y'all started off as it's us against the world. Now we tripping with each other all the time. Now we tripping. It's 7 days in a week. If you tripping 3 to 4 times out the week, shit. That's either half or more than half the time. So it's like, shit. Well, where are your happy days at? Your happy can't outweigh the bad when it's coming like that. When you arguing like that, you know what I'm saying? Your home life, your relationship is supposed to be your safe place. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you in a relationship, the person that you're in a relationship is supposed to have the type of hold over you. It's a positive hold to where if you fired up and you ready to light the whole world up, they can just touch you and you calm down. They just be like, it's gonna be good. And you cooling. It shouldn't be the other way around where everything outside of your relationship is peaceful. But you don't even want to go home because a motherfucker want to throw a grill at you. No, I'm just playing. I'm just bullshit. I'm just bullshit. But real.
Listen, I can tell y'all why the grill was thrown at the nigga. I can tell y'all why the grill was thrown.
Yeah, you gotta do
The
it.
grill was thrown at him, and I told y'all, rest his soul. Rest my twin flame soul. Very toxic. But the grill was thrown at him because he, you know, some men don't have no respect. And I think that nigga didn't come home that night. And he thought shit was cool, you know, talking about we gonna throw something on the grill. I was pissed the fuck off. I'm trying to tell you, I was pissed off. My face was stinking. Y'all know how my face was stinking earlier, and y'all was like, man, what's wrong, man? My face was stinking. I was pissed. And I don't know, he said something to me. Matter of fact, let me tell you, I had a message. You know how I help people out? I had somebody ask me something. So he saw it on my phone. And he's the kind of person, because he was a habitual cheater. I couldn't help nobody. You know, things like that. Trying to unblock me from my gifts. And not really my gifts, but like my true purpose from helping people. So like jealousy, things like that. So he saw like the boy was asking me something about if somebody threw something at his door. And I got pissed off because I really believed that I saw something in his phone earlier that day. And I was like, ain't no way you talking to me about me helping somebody and you was just wilding earlier. So I had got mad and I had threw the grill. But it's stuff like that, like y'all say, it's time to go. It was been just time to go. Because all that's unnecessary.
Real.
And when you stop fussing, people always say when a woman or a man just stop talking, it's real bad. You know? That's when it's lethal.
So, KK, does a man have a right to defend himself?
Yes. I'm going to let him go ahead.
Nah, most definitely. I'm happy you asked that. I think definitely a man has to defend himself. I mean, especially if somebody can throw a grill at you or stab you with a knife, like if and man, hey, we appreciate you, Miss. We appreciate you, Goddess, for showing that you also had a toxic side. Like I think everybody could grow if people could speak on just things they have been through and certain things where you get so mad that you would be in a certain situation. Because I think you could also learn how not to put, like she said, she should have been and left. But 9 out of 10, we don't have examples of how to have a fruitful relationship. We know how to get mad and say fuck you, but we don't know how to get mad and say I love you. I'm about to tell you something you don't like. I love you, but then tell them what you don't like. But let them know you love them first. Like it's a way to do things where you can actually build things, bro. But like it is, everybody's not for everybody. When they be like, hey, he or she for everybody, hey, they thinking with their animal spirit, they just out there, you know, they're animal, they're a zombie already, but they don't know it. They don't know it, but they ran by a carnal nature, a lower nature. And it's not to say church. We talked, but it's not to get on that specific part of it. But at the end and beginning of the day, if you're not growing, if you're not waking up brand new with a person, I thought this morning. I said, you know what? I looked in the mirror. I said, KK, man, I'm brand new, fresh out the box. Man, it's a huge planet. Well, what is there to do today? Like, get out here and make things happen. If you got a running mate on you and you can both think on these cylinders, bro, you can make things happen. You can get it. But if If you waking up to somebody every day and the first thing you think is, God damn, why is you right here? You know what I'm saying? You start feeling like that. And this is the thing. A lot of times men, you know, because on what she's speaking on, women are ran by the moon, men are ran by the sun. So when you think about it, women have a lot of intuition. So if a man is real deceitful and he's doing things and a woman is feeling, I know it, I know this, but this man is lying and this woman's building up this certain thing, bro, and a woman would want to harm a man or do something bad to him for years, or because they feel like he's sneaky, he's deceitful, he's a certain way. And the majority of people, due to the way we come up in this world, are like that in their young, definitely in their younger age. Some people never grow out of it. But for the most part, the things, the devices, the things that you are introduced to, especially as a young melanated man, bro, you probably gonna have, you know, if you get it where you have a little aura, a little something about yourself, you probably gonna have some, you know what I'm saying, some issues at a certain point of your life. But I think it's very important for definitely people to start working on how to let go of something, you know, before it gets volatile or get to a point where you hate a person for the rest of your life and you carry on this thing where you don't ever like men or you don't ever like women again. I think that's, you know, that's where it gets crazy, and a lot of people are left thinking on those levels. I mean, yo, peace, family. What's good with it? Peace, family.
Respond
Yes.
to that. Respond to that, KK.
There you go.
Respond to that comment I put up there.
Oh,
You can't fully let go of a toxic relationship until you take responsibility for your part in it.
there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do want to add, like, I had been abused like way before I threw this grill. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like that was just like a leading point. But I do feel like people should take responsibility. That's why I be telling people, like, you just had them relationships where you just be toxic. Ain't nothing you can do from them but learn. But you got to be true in yourself. You got to be true in who you are to have these kind of talks, because, you know, some people feel some type of way. Like, listen, you feel some type of way about yourself. That's all we talking about. Peace, Kiki. See, look, I didn't even see the comments. But no, um, that's where healing come from, man. I just feel like a lot's going on with our generation in love. There's just a really, they told us that we might not ever, you know, people tell us, women, that we might not ever find a man, like for real, for real.
Mm.
They always tell us that. Like my mother and my aunt, they still old going, they be going through stuff. You know what I mean? You just be like, y'all about 70, 60, 70 years old. God damn, you, you be looking at people like, listen, sometimes,
You get that old. You
yeah.
get that old. It's definitely time to go. You get that old. You go. You don't need to be going through. Then you say you 60, 70 years old and you getting cheated on. God damn. It's like, all right. Like, yeah, let that shit go. Real talk. Just straight up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like we definitely have to, from being on the if you're a man or a female that's being the abuser, you know, you have to look at that. When you were the abusee, sometimes you have to look at that, because, and what I mean by take accountability of your part in it, it's like, what did you allow? Because a person is only going to do to you what you allow them to do. I promise you that. Anytime there's a line drawn in the sand, a motherfucker either gonna respect it or check it. That's just, and check it mean bounce. People who like to be manipulators, those are usually the abusers. Once they see that their manipulations ain't working no more, they usually Either they get more aggressive or they bounce. You
So
see
so
what?
if a man lies to a woman like she said he is excessive cheater. If you're excessive cheater and you keep lying to a woman and she kind of know you lying, but she ain't caught you, but she know you lying. Um, are you abusing her? I mean, I had to ask that question. Is that abusing that woman?
I would say yes. I would have to say yes because you are abusing her trust. Because even though she had that feeling, her love and her trust is making her give you the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? So when you are the manipulator, yeah, even when sometimes you think you ain't manipulating the situation, yes, you are. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the cold hard facts about the situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's me talking to my former self. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
said it is.
Nigga ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so yeah, I done had these same type of conversations with myself. People can be transparent with other people, but they can't be transparent with themselves. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to act like you ain't causing some of the abuser act like they ain't causing some of these situations. Like nigga, you or woman, you know, you know what you was doing. You know you did something, but you're trying to act like it's something else or the other person is lacking and shit like that. That's when you know. I done told plenty of women, even women that I done dated and mistreated. Man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with you when a man cheat on you. That shit ain't got nothing to do with you. On
You know,
everything. Don't be kicking
you
yourself
know,
in the ass because that shit ain't got nothing to do with you.
nothing.
As a man, and it's gonna be niggas on the internet probably hating that a nigga saying this, but it's real.
Yeah, they
Ain't
gonna be
got nothing
saying,
to do
nah, she ain't doing this the way they make it look like it's. I don't know.
with you.
Goddess Indigo, what do you think? Is that abuse if a man consistently lie to a woman and she care about him and she stick around and she know he cheating, she ain't got the raw truth, or even when she find out if she stay there, is he abusing her?
Yes, that's kind of like narcissistic abuse. So it is a thing. It's I don't know. It's kind of mental, emotional. It is some type of physical abuse. I have to tell people like when you force women to mix with other women's DNA, and even if women do that to men, it is still abuse. So definitely agree with that. People must address their pain, issues, and trauma so they don't inflict or project their pain on others. Yes, that's all a part of people's contract. I have to tell people. I mean, we can't force others to heal or see. You got to kind of just let people do that on their own.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's real, man. Speaking on that, I think that it is a raw side to it where it's definitely trauma that you're causing that a man causes a woman when he does do that. I definitely think that is a form of abuse, but I also tie that into what it says too. Um, a lot of people will stay there and take that knowing that they uncomfortable with it, and then they'll have that feeling later on, I should have left a long time ago, but now they resent that person so much when they the one who stayed there 10 years, accepting something they seen wasn't gonna change with them, especially if it changes with another person. That makes it even worse for other people. So it's like I think taking accountability, man, people got to take their power back. Like if you are a woman and you felt like that was being abused, take your power back. If you're a man, quit spilling yourself, man. Hold yourself some time. Like take your power back. I think this is a power movement, and when you keep it raw, when you give people the raw, uncut truth, yeah, I feel sorry for women. I think that I don't feel sorry for women. Let me be honest. I'm not gonna lie about it, bro. I don't feel sorry for women, man. Like now, I only feel sorry for the old people and children. I mean, at this point in day, because you're right, people have signed contracts. They have agreed to certain things where, and they can help it. 9 out of the 10, the people we talking to, a lot of these things are self-inflicted. There's something about this person that you love so much where you know it was a certain connection, and there are, brother, there are soul connections. There's a lot of things. So I just say I think we got to start from the root to find out why we are in this position that we are today. Yeah, because we should know more. A lot of this stuff that we go through, and it's just we haven't guided people that were honest before us. If we keep it raw like we keeping it right now, we talk to the young people exactly the way we speaking now, bro, we help them miss so much. Like we would help them miss a whole lot. We would help them. Um, they would do that. They start playing with the internet. I mean, yeah, bro. You pass this on to the next generation instead of communicating it with them. You pass on this trauma and you keep it going when you could just be honest. Like, yeah.
So, like, so when she said people must address their pain, when my queen said people must address their pain, so they don't afflict it on others. This is the reason why you jump ship soon as you can. When you see signs, when you see it, because sometimes it's more than just signs. It's an actual bop. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. Sometimes it ain't no sign. It's an actual slap in the damn face or some type of real disrespect. It ain't just like a motherfucker did a little something. Ah, that's a red flag. No, it's more than a red flag. It's an actual flagrant foul. You know what I'm saying? That's why you actually jump ship then. Because if you're the abusee, you can easily turn into the abuser. Right? How do you stop being bullied? You become the bully. You change the narrative. You know what I'm saying?
So look, man.
Let me put one more fact out there.
Betty.
And for some women who don't know,
yeah,
it be young men that get their heart broke early, 12, 13, 14, and it fuck them up for a minute. No lie. It fuck them up for a minute because their heartbreak comes from different areas, right? Far as in, you got a young man, he 10, 11, 12 years old. He's in a single mother household. His single mother ain't doing nothing but going through a bunch of trauma, right? He heartbroken by that. But at the same time, she don't treat him right because she's getting abused. So now he definitely heartbroken. So now that makes his view of women different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you know what I'm saying? Like that projecting your pain and what you done been through is not just a conversational thing. It's actually a real thing that can become physically and emotionally damaging to the other party that's a part of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? But past that, I just want to slide that in there right quick.
Oh yeah, and yeah, Indigo, most definitely. But I was gonna say, bro, before I give a closing statement tonight, I was gonna say this. I'm gonna pass the Indigo. She can rep it first. But I was gonna say in the grand scheme of things, bro. Imagine a system just out there that actually feeds on a relationship not growing, or somebody saying this person did abuse me by putting their hands on me, they done this. That person can go back and apologize, but there's systems now, and a woman could say this person cheated on me. You going on child support? I want this amount of your income. I want to do this or that. so many things can happen to where you automatically start involving other things. This person could be a great parent. They could be a great. They would do anything for it. This imagine a system that actually fed on this type of discommunication amongst people, and then you'll start seeing why somebody has to get it, or everybody gonna be tired. It's like the guy that said, like a lot of these older women are growing up by themselves. Nobody's there. Then they projecting so many other women that are not gonna have men around because of the. I think a lot of the food that's out there that people eating, a lot of I think it's a lot going on these realms that to actually speak on. But I say to say the least, to say the very least, in order to have a relationship, bro, you can't we have to readjust and I hate to say learn and unlearn and relearn and all these things, but we have to adjust and realize that a lot of what we've been taught is it wasn't correct. It wasn't correct by any means. So I think it's difficult to carry a relationship when the TV, the schools, the tuitions that we're around. I think is that very difficult to have a relationship with people that come up through these things. You'll find very few people that are ready to, clean their life, clean themselves right and live an upright or righteous type way. And what I'm saying by saying righteous, I'm not saying what the next person considers righteous or what they consider the ceiling on their life is. I'm talking about when you put yourself through these limits, somebody that wants to be wherever, you know what I'm saying? If you're a man that feel like you want 10 wives, those should be 10 women that are comfortable with you having 10 wives, not 10 wives who don't know they wives, but you know what I'm saying? But shit, sometimes they wise, but they don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of these things, if people are comfortable doing it, you should be comfortable doing in public, which you comfortable doing with in private. Like, not saying that, but if you get the gist of what I'm saying for real. But yeah, God, what's good? You quiet over there.
Man, I'm just listening. It's a nice talk.
Yeah, real talk.
It's nice listening. Um, I was thinking about something, and of course, it flew up my mind. I wanted to say something so important, and I can't stand when that happens. I also do agree with your statement about everybody should be agreeing. I think I saw a video about a rapper, Moneybagg Yo, and he said that he wants to be monogamous with his girlfriend, and he wasn't used to that. And that's what I was trying to get people to understand is that men will be monogamous with who they want to be monogamous with if you're actually worth it to them. So I don't know. I just feel like that's what it was, the agenda. The agenda in America to destroy the household is ridiculous. And I think that nobody really sees. They just play along with. I have to tell people you either taking red pills or blue pills all day long with things that you do. Like, you're either taking red pills or blue pills. When you don't see what's going on, like people are saying, why do we care about the I call them the alphabet squad, the LGBTQP plus. Okay, anywho, I don't want to be disrespectful, but they're mad about people saying why are we mad about that kind of stuff? Because y'all can do that shit at home. You feel me? They're saying why are businesses going out of business? Because y'all can do that shit at home. And that's just how everybody's gonna feel. Peace, grandma. Like,
these guys, most definitely.
anybody with sense is not gonna sit there and say, "Oh, I want my kids seeing this shit every time they go out." No, y'all are conditioning them the same way. Oh, they're gonna be gay if they want to be gay. No, they don't even know what the fuck that is. You feel me? So I just feel like the agenda to destroy is just. I mean, it's chaotic right now. It's at an all-time high. Just got to be careful.
Most definitely.
Man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, man. Y'all see what grandma said? She said she was in there. Oh, my bad. God dang. My
Go ahead,
bad.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Do you?
Yeah, no, I just was peeping. She said she was in a polygamous relationship for 20 years. 20 years. Yeah, we're gonna have to get up. We're gonna have to talk about that one for real. But yeah, tell her, man, what you got.
Man, my closing statement is to encourage everyone to be in tune with their star player. And your star player is yourself. Understanding when somebody's telling you to be selfish, they're not necessarily saying and speaking in a physical, monetary type of way. They're speaking more in getting to know yourself, understanding yourself, making sure that you're like I say, in tune with yourself to the point where you're finding whatever you're searching for, you're actually finding it. And you're not just out there looking and you're picking up whatever seems to resemble what you're looking for. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And a lot of times, like we've all done basically spoke on, step on out, have courage to go look for something different. Have courage to act. If you done spent 10, 15, 20 years in a relationship that you've been unhappy in, take the time out and have courage to go and step away from that and find something better. Because it's never too late. Yeah, they say life is short, but as long as you breathing, it ain't never too late. It ain't never too late. And at the end of the day, self-preservation over anything. Self-preservation over anything. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm married, so I don't really want to see a whole bunch of married couples getting divorced or nothing like that, but at the same time, your toxic environment can be detrimental to other people, especially if you got kids. So you have to think about it in the grand scheme of things and in a selfish manner. And that's it.
Closing. Thanks to the goddess.
You put me back in the hot seat.
Oh, wait, she got it the hot seat. Yeah, you been forgetting what you was thinking about all night. We gotta put you there for real.
Closing statements. That's what we doing, right?
Yes, man.
We just gotta love ourselves. We gotta trust ourselves. Be there for ourselves, heal ourselves, and grow. That's how I feel. Because that can eliminate a lot of problems if we had self-love and self-worth. That's how I feel. That's it.
God body. In closing, hey, so y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all definitely came here and kicked it with us. And in closing, I'm gonna say, man, when it's time to let go, you truly know. And sometimes, in very few instances, sometimes you have to let a person that you really love go for a certain period of time. And if it's meant for you, it come back. Or it might look like it's about to break apart. And some say, nah, this is supposed to be together. But if those unidentified miracles are not happening, it's time to go. And let's not relegate this to like how children relegate it to. Like I say, this shouldn't be I'm holding or harboring hatred for what I went through while I chose to be with a person. At some point, it has to be a situation where there is harmonious growth. It has to be a consistent growth. Look, like if you start a relationship where you both people eat bad, 5 years later, if somebody's not pushing a person to do something different, if y'all are doing the exact same things, nature is going to push you away from that person. So everybody who is out there establishing a relationship, you have to realize, definitely, like you have to realize you have to keep going and keep growing. Like that's supposed to be a partner, and y'all ship has to move. You know, if a ship is sitting sail, you know, in the middle of an ocean, like, I mean, you're not gonna ever reach land. You're just gonna be out there. So, you know, in closing statements, I mean, when it's time to let it go and forgive it. Kiss it goodbye. You know, that being said, like I say, y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all was here with us, man. One love and peace to everybody out there. God, body.